Hello everyone, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are going to talk about cholesterol, and this is the only video that you will ever need to watch on cholesterol. So if you're somebody who is suffering from high levels of cholesterol, or if you're a caretaker, this is the only video that you will need to watch. Also, this video is going to be pretty dense in terms of the information that I'm going to share. So if you're somebody who's impatient, please tune out right now, no stress. So let's begin with what is cholesterol and what are its different functions. But before we get into this, may I please ask you to hit the like and the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos on heart health. So first things first, let's get this one thing really straight. Cholesterol is essential for life. It is required to produce one of the most important structures in the human body. For example, cell membrane, hormones like progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and even cortisol. It is also used in producing bile acids, which are very important in digesting food. Now, with this information, I hope this is clear that cholesterol is not a bad thing that it has been projected to be. In fact, the body produces all the cholesterol that it needs for all the functions that I just mentioned. Now, let's talk about what cholesterol is really. Number one thing that you need to remember about cholesterol, that it is a lipid or a fat, and it cannot dissolve in blood like glucose or sodium can. So to move around the body with the help of blood, it needs some sort of vehicle, and that vehicle is called lipoprotein, which basically is the L that stands in HDL and LDL. On breaking down the term lipoprotein, you will get lipo, which basically means lipids, which is the inside part, and then you have protein, which is just protein, and which is the outer part, and that basically is the vehicle for the cholesterol to move around in the entire body in the bloodstream. Now, it is also important to understand that each lipoprotein is enwrapped with a bigger particle called apolipoprotein, which provides structure and stability. So HDL is enwrapped with apolipoprotein A or ApoA, and LDL is enwrapped with apolipoprotein B or ApoB. Now, you may be wondering what is really the importance of learning such a technical thing like ApoA and ApoB. Well, it is important because this information holds a lot of importance in understanding how the heart disease is caused. Because every single lipoprotein which is enwrapped with ApoB is the cause of heart disease or cardiovascular diseases. And which are these lipoproteins? Well, they are LDL, which stands for low density lipoprotein, VLDL, which stands for very low density lipoprotein, and IDL, which stands for intermediate density lipoprotein. So if any of these markers are high in your lab reports, then it is a clear sign that you are developing a risk of heart disease. And one of the best ways to reduce the risk of heart disease is to reduce these numbers. And how do you go about doing this? You can go about doing this by either taking medication and by changing your diet and your lifestyle. So in the next part of the video, we will talk about the dietary and the lifestyle recommendations that you need to follow to make sure that your heart health is perfectly fine and the chances of your cardiovascular diseases are low. So the first recommendation is avoid simple carbs. Well, you need to understand that cardiovascular disease is an inflammatory condition which is a result of insulin resistance. And when you consume simple carbs, it leads to high spikes in glucose, and that leads to insulin resistance over time. The second recommendation is include resistance training in your routine. Now, resistance training is something that has multiple benefits. For example, the first one is that it helps you flush out excess glucose from the bloodstream. The second one is that it helps you reduce inflammation in the body. The third one is that it helps you build up muscles. And the fourth one is that it helps you burn extra calories. When you have all these things taken care of, your risk of cardiovascular disease falls down. The third one is deep sleep. Well, as I said earlier, that cardiovascular disease is basically an inflammatory condition, and inflammation is also a result of poor recovery. So sleeping for about 7 to 8 hours every night will help your body heal, balance out your hormones, and make you feel rejuvenated. A major point to remember is that quality of sleep is as important as quantity of sleep. So sleep for about 7 to 8 hours, but make sure that your sleep is deep. The fourth recommendation is that you should eat a Mediterranean diet. Now, a Mediterranean diet is basically a diet that has fish, seafood, olive oil, nuts, and sunshine. There was a study conducted which said that having this diet in calorie restricted way, supplemented with extra virgin olive oil, led to low rates of cardiovascular diseases. And the last recommendation is to move to a plant-based diet. Now, it is very important to know that plant-based diets are actually very safe for your heart because of low levels of saturated fats in it. Now, that being said, I am not saying that saturated fats are unhealthy, which is basically a very, very common myth. All I'm trying to say is that plant-based diets are actually low in saturated fats compared to a diet which is meat-based, which has pork or mutton in it. And if you're somebody who is looking to manage your cholesterol levels in a systematic way, please visit my website www.tanaymandovra.com. You can find the link in the description, and you can also join my Telegram channel where I share free content related to health and well-being. Again, the link is in the description. I also created a video on 8 foods to eat and avoid when you have high cholesterol. Check it out here. I will see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, sleep tight, move more, and get some sunshine. Have a wonderful day.